The Beef Market Update on RealAgriculture.com with Anne Dunford is brought to you by AFSC's Cattle Price Insurance Program. So Anne, what's happening right now on the fat cattle side?
Well, again this week, Sean, this has been almost like a broken record. New highs in the U.S. Fat cattle market again this week. Several areas trading 112 and as high as 113 in a few of the states. So again, these prices are as much as $1 to $2 higher than last week's trade. And again, surprising us all, this market just continues to move higher very early in the year. We're a long ways off spring, looking outside the door. And markets usually peak in spring, so questions, is this contra-seasonal or where do we go from here?
Well, that's a good question. Where do we go from here, right? It just seems like we continue to go higher. Are we starting to see these higher prices at the grocery store level?
Yes, we actually saw USDA release the January U.S. Retail prices, and they were up between 6 and 8% across the board. So yeah, these prices are starting to hit the counter now. I haven't seen the February data just yet, but so it is moving along. So now the question is, especially in recent days with oil prices now moving as high as they have and gasoline prices to the customer starting to make some impacts across the continent, where is the sticker shock? Where do we get some pushback at this point in time? So far we watch our other competition very closely. Pork prices have been moving higher along with cattle prices in the U.S. Of course, so far chicken prices at the counter have not. So we are getting, if you want to look at the relationship between beef and the other proteins, we're in line with pork, but we are getting out of line with chicken. What happens, retailers put chicken on the counter now.
So we look more from a local perspective in Western Canada. Where are we at right now with, say, are we current, or what's happening? Extremely
current here in Western Canada. I think we've continued to market cattle very aggressively into this kind of a marketplace. Until recently, we had fat cattle prices in Western Canada par or premium to the U.S. price. So again, excellent reasons to be selling, and of course, in most cases, quite profitable. So those are the kind of things that keep us selling. But one of our concerns as we go forward into the spring and summer of 2011 is with the premium structure that we have seen. Now that's changed in the last couple of 3 days, but the premium structure in the board, especially into the back months, tends to often make us slower marketers, and we tend to get behind in those kind of conditions. Does $7 corn change that? Maybe. But again, lots of things to be watching about. Do we stay as current as we thought or have been, especially through 2010? 2010 was an exceptional year for staying current. Do we start to pull that apart as we go through the rest of this year?
How full are yards right now?
Again, hearing two different kind of stories. The situation in the U.S., their last on-feed report had February 1 on-feed numbers up 6%. And what's happening, Sean, is it's not necessarily that we've seen the inventory numbers. Inventories are down, but what's happened is more cattle have been pulled on feed. A premium structure in the board has given lots of good hedging opportunities on feeder cattle. Of course, earlier last fall, we had very poor winter wheat pastures that sent cattle on feed. So I think that was probably the last hurrah. So we are sitting with more cattle in the feed yards today. I think that story will change drastically as we go through the rest of this year. Same kind of situation here in Western Canada. Big placements of calves late in the run, late in November. And then of course we've had a fairly busy January. So it'll be interesting to see what the final data is for our March 1 on-feed numbers as we head into the next second and third quarters of this year.
Do you see any issues with the winter that we have and the calving season kind of getting started and going, or is there going to be any effects there?
Well, I think everybody's clear sick of winter and snow and cold. It's been a long one from coast to coast. But at this point in time, I think again producers are, for the most part, pretty much prepared. We're getting tired of it, but is it an issue as far as the cattle performance has maybe not been quite up to snuff, but you will make up for that ground. And as we go forward, and again, calving season, again, is this a big surprise? We'd like to have it better, but we've most certainly seen lots of snow and winter storms going into calving before. So we'd sure like to see spring, but I think producers, generally speaking, are pretty much prepared for whatever comes.
Should be lots of grass.
There should be lots of grass.
Okay, Anne, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, thanks, Sean.